You've been a staple in the grocery store, almost like tomatoes and cantaloupe. I mean, you're always in those grocery store things. How would you describe your relations with the press over the years?
I think the same as anybody's relationship with the press, that it's changeable, intermittent, and it varies. So that's really...
And I'm sure you've been burned. I've heard you talk about that before.
I've been burned, I've been treated beautifully, I mean, I've had all of it, you know, but the press is like any other human condition. I mean, they're two human beings dealing with each other, plus publications, and they're going to change, you know, so it varies as much as any given relationship varies, in a way.
Do you enjoy watching yourself in a theater perform?
I used to get more pleasure earlier in my life because it was something new for me to see myself. Now I get more pleasure out of the making of a film than I do out of the watching it, because after a while you just get used to yourself and it's not the event that it used to be.
Are there a lot of times that you wish people would not recognize you, that you could live your life?
Well, sure, but I mean, I don't think I would trade it for
Really?
the success I have, no.
Do you ever feel like Elvis Presley apparently felt, that he was scared to go out and didn't want to, you know, always thought people were looking at him even if they weren't?
I think that is an understandable feeling. I certainly understand what Elvis went through. But then finally it becomes a choice, because you've got to decide whether you're going to live your life or be reclusive. And it's a very interesting decision, because I certainly could have made that at various times in my life. And I've chosen to go out, maybe because I have such an extroverted family and I have friends that care very much if I'm in the real world. And it's just an interesting question, and I think that anyone in my position has to make that decision.
What do you think has changed the most from the days of doing television to, say, this film?
More confidence, I think.
And that's important?
Well, it's only important that you feel more comfortable when you're working. I don't know how important it is in the overall spectrum, but it could be more important in how you feel doing your job, and I value that. I mean, I like to feel good when I'm working.
Do you take your parts home with you? Do you become that character and can't release it when the day's over?
People tell me I do. I don't always see it as much as others see it, but you know, people will say, oh, look, he's being such and such now, you know, or he's acting like his character. My family's accused me of that, and friends. So I guess I do it more than I'd like to think that I do it.
In Nashville, Tennessee, the Urban Cowboy was an important film. It made a lot of people a lot of money. The Urban Cowboy days are kind of gone now. The director of this film, which was also the director of Urban Cowboy, said he would entertain the idea of doing something like that again. Could you see playing that type of character again, going back and revisiting those days?
Sure, because I had the best time I ever had in my life making Urban Cowboy. So if I would welcome the idea of doing a sequel, or not even a sequel necessarily, but something in the same vein. It's fun being something so completely different than you are. I love the effects of Perfect. I mean, Perfect is my playing an intellectual finally. And the film is so different than anything I've done before, that this film in particular is exciting for me and my career. Each one of my films have served me in a different way, so I like to think of it as a 10-year period, you know, a body of work that has given me great pleasure. But usually, as you know, the project you're working on most recently is one that's most interesting to you.
I'm glad I met you.